So I'm here in Beijing right now, and I've been meeting with schools all week. Elementary schools, kindergartens, high schools, private schools, public schools, bilingual schools, and there's a few things that every single school has essentially expressed concern or interest in, and that's why I'm here. I'm basically here to tell you what these schools are most concerned about and how you can make yourself an attractive candidate for them. So there's three things, and let's just go through them right now. Number one, have your visa documents prepared, or at least have them ordered. Because specifically the criminal background check, it takes a long time to get that check, especially for Americans. The FBI is a slow background check process. It might take you up to 3 months to get it. And therefore, if a school needs a teacher, and often schools are very much in a rush to get a teacher, they're going to be looking for teachers, and therefore we're going to be recommending teachers that have their documents either prepared or the documents are about to arrive. So start getting those visa documents prepared, and you can find what those are if you go to the visa checklist. And number two is have a great profile. You know, make yourself look good. Have some very professional, good pictures up there of yourself. Because, you know, in the modern age here with social networking, you know, showing how important it is to look good. I mean, treat this kind of like LinkedIn. You want a very good-looking professional profile that immediately shows a school like, oh, okay, this person, I can see this person in our environment making our school look professional and look good. So have a great profile, not just picture. Obviously, you need to write about yourself very well, and perhaps most importantly is your profile videos. You know, your introduction video. Talk about yourself. Maybe even talk about your family. You know, all the questions that we have you prepare. Spend time, you know, coming up with very good answers to them, and also your teaching values video. You know, show them that you are passionate about teaching, that you like teaching, even if you don't have that much experience, honestly. You know, just give them something to go off of to help them, you know, form this image of you as part of their school community and, you know, benefiting their school community. So go over the questions that we ask you, you know, in the, you know, how to create videos documents on our website, and really come up with some good answers for that. Spend time preparing for it. And, you know, also create other videos if you think that if you have a good demo class that you'd like to do. That is a great idea. If you'd like some suggestions, please message me and I can kind of help you form some ideas for those demo classes. And number three in all of this is in your videos and in your interview, hopefully, schools care about one thing that is kind of difficult for them to describe. And so I'm going to describe it for you. And this is going to be extremely helpful for you if you really take this advice to heart. Show how you're flexible. And that's the best way I can describe this. Flexible both personally and professionally in a new culture. Because probably one of the biggest points of stress for a school is dealing with teachers who cannot adapt to their new cultural, to their new culture, whether that be in the classroom or outside of the classroom. Just to give you some examples, you know, teachers that show up to work stressed on any given day because they, you know, they couldn't get a glass of water in the restaurant. You know, I'm in China here, and a very small example, you know, just I didn't realize that you can't, you know, that most people don't drink water here. You know, in a restaurant, there's not a glass sitting there, you know, with water in it, or specifically cold water. And, you know, getting frustrated by things that you don't understand instead of absorbing them is something that is going to, is not flexible, and therefore you're going to be less happy, and therefore you're going to be less productive as a member of their community. So you want to just generally be flexible as a person, and professionally flexible. This is probably the more important one, obviously, as it relates to the job. Let me just give you an example from Beijing, from the high school attached to Beijing Normal University. I just spoke with their principal yesterday. Very famous high school here, one of the most famous public schools in the city and therefore in the country. Every single student here is extremely bright. And, you know, they're all taking 5+ AP classes. Some of the students, he said 20 of their students have or are going to end up taking and getting 5s and some 4s on 15 AP tests. I mean, this is an extremely bright school. So anyways, he told me, you know, they had a teacher one time who was not flexible at all with his teaching standards. and therefore he had a student who in one of his classes plagiarized about a page of one of his essays that he turned in. The teacher immediately failed the kid, would not budge. Parents came in, and the parents coming into the school in these societies, they come in and they bring the hammer with them. So the school heard a lot of it, and it was very stressful, and they could not get this teacher to change the grade. And that's what exactly what the parents are asking for. Say, change this grade. This is not okay that you just flat out fail our student because he plagiarized. And the teacher couldn't understand it. He said, well, the way that I was raised is that plagiarism is bad. And to be clear here, yes, plagiarism is bad. However, there are levels to badness in a society, in a culture. Is it so bad that it needs to have this punishment or this punishment? And you need to be flexible and understand that this is different. Plagiarism is more common in Korea and China. It just is. And therefore, this teacher probably needed to understand that. And we need to encourage them, or he needed to encourage these students and teach them this is not okay. He needed to discourage them from doing this and explain why, and have the kid rewrite it. And that's just an example, a good example, I think, of inflexibility that leads to the school being upset, students upset, parents upset, teacher upset, everybody's upset. So if you in your profile and during your interview can find some way to express that you are a flexible person, schools will love that. Okay, they will love that. So try to find some way to do that. If you have any questions about these three things, just review, have your visa documents prepared, create a beautiful, well, it reads well, and informative profile. And then number three, obviously try to show how you're flexible. Maybe even devote an entire video to it, or at least part of your introduction video to it. So be sure to do that, and message me with any questions. Good luck.